Thanks for joining us from the Ohio AgNet Voice You Know with the News You Trust studio, sponsored by the Family Forest Carbon Program, where we help family forest owners get paid to improve the health of their woods. I am Allison Kinney. Taking a look into the headlines this afternoon. The much-anticipated Make America Healthy Again Commission report calls out the potential hazards of glyphosate-based Roundup while saying a balanced approach is needed between improving pesticide safety in general and the needs of farmers. The 68-page document released by the commission makes several recommendations as it relates to pesticides while pointing to what MAHA says is a critical role farmers play in child's health. MAHA also calls out what it says are negative health effects on government programs on health and points to the need to put natural foods processed by farms front and center in the food system. When it comes to research and evaluation of pesticides, the MAHA report emphasizes the need for more study of the cumulative effects of pesticide exposure, particularly in children. That includes calling for better tools to assess how multiple exposures to pesticides affect health over time. The Commission calls for the launching of a national incentive to map how interactions with pesticides, pollutants, and endocrine disruptors affect childhood disease risks. When it comes to glyphosate specifically, MAHA points to possible health effects, including studies that have potential effects including reproductive and developmental disorders, cancers, and liver inflammation. However, MAHA concedes in the report federal government reviews of epidemiologic data for the most common herbicide did not establish a direct link between using according to the data directions and adverse health outcomes, and an updated U.S. government health assessment on common herbicides is expected in 2026. The report also points to the most recent data from the USDA's Pesticide Data Program found that 99% of food samples tested in 2023 were compliant with EPA's safety limit. When it comes to regulating pesticides, MAHA said its recommendations that our only changes need to consider the effects on agriculture as well as the domestic and global food supply. MAHA said there is a need to collaborate with farmers and that any regulatory changes take cost considerations into account to ensure farmers can continue to operate while protecting public health. Agriculture interest groups made swift and forceful responses to the MAHA Commission report and called on President Donald Trump to intervene. U.S. Secretary of Agriculture Brooke Rollins said in a statement that farmers and ranchers dedicate their lives to the noble cause of feeding their country and the world. In the process, Rollins said they have created the safest and most abundant and affordable food supply in the world. MAHA said farmers today receive a small share of consumer food spending as only 16 cents of every dollar spent on food went to farmers, while 84 cents was absorbed by food manufacturers, marketers, and distributors. The report said regulation of the food industry also presents a challenge to smaller farmers. Key regulations, such as the Food Safety Modernization Act enacted in 2011, implemented rigorous compliance requirements for food safety that smaller farms often lack the resources to meet, the report said. This inadvertently led to the increased costs and burdensome paperwork that disproportionately impact family-run operations.
Every time you use biodiesel, you're fueling more than your engine. You're investing in Ohio's farmers, reducing emissions and creating cleaner air for all of us. Did you know biodiesel adds 13% in value to every bushel of soybeans grown? That's good for farms, good for families, and good for the future. Drive with purpose. Choose biodiesel. Learn how at soyohio.org.
Let's check in with Dusty as he has information about a grower survey looking at seedling diseases.
I'm joined today by Dr. Horacio Lopez Nicora, OSU Extension soybean pathologist and nematologist. Dr. Nicora, the Crop Protection Network is looking for some grower input in a survey they have out. Can you tell us a little more?
Yes. How are you, Dusty? And very happy to be here with you. Thank you. The survey is open for this spring season, right? This planting season. And the survey specifically asks questions about soybean seedling diseases. So a really nice and short survey that we encourage people to access and respond because it provides us researcher relevant questions, and it helps us direct the research that we do to improve management for soybean seedling diseases. So highly encouraged for anyone over 18 years old to complete this survey that is administered by the Crop Protection Network.
And easy ways to find that, either Googling Crop Protection Network and you can scan the website, or a recent article that you had in the Corn newsletter had a link directly to it.
Absolutely. And we have several responses already already coming from Ohio. So, having those articles that we put in the corn newsletter and also that you guys share with your network is amazingly important.
And again, the website there, cropprotectionnetwork.org, or you can go look at the article at the corn newsletter at corn.osu.edu. For the Ohio AgNet, I'm Dusty Sonnenberg.
This market report is brought to you by Seed Consultants, simply better performance. Online at seedconsultants.com. July corn down 3.5 at 459.5. December corn down 2.5 at 450 3/4. March corn down 2 1/4 at 465 3/4. July soybeans down 7 1/4 at 1060 1/4. November soybeans down 4 3/4 at 1050 1/2. January soybeans down 3 3/4 at 1063 3/4. July wheat down 2 even at 242 1/2. September wheat down 2 1/2 at 558. December wheat down 2 1/2 at 580 3/4. June live cattle up 17 cents at 215.80. August live cattle down 5 cents at 210.45. And June lean hogs down 40 cents at 98.30. This is the Ohio AgNet.